not because he wants, just, free education.
Yeah. Which is expensive.
Yeah, which is expensive. And a lot of people just think.
But we're the only
pays for it.
first world country in the world that doesn't do that.
Yeah, and a lot of times people will be like, well, how's he going to get the money? He's just going to take it from the rich or blah, 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 blah. And it's not really necessarily that. It's just he's reallocating tax money that was used and putting it towards education, putting it towards healthcare, instead of putting it towards prisons and putting it towards a bunch of other shit that we really don't use.
Well, you can say we don't use it, but imagine if we had no prisons, like, that's why, like.
But our prisons are overpacked. There's a bunch of people that are in jail right now and that's another thing he talked about. Like, you were saying, that could, okay. I always say with Hilary, like, I found out that she put her husband, had a crime bill that put a lot of people in jail for crimes that may not be as serious as they are right now. For example, weed. There's a lot of people in jail for having a certain amount of weed that if you go to California, you could have that same amount of weed and it'd be legal. And they're in jail for 15, 20 years for that, and they've been in jail for all this time.
No.
So she's putting a lot of people in jail.
What was it connected to, though?
Huh?
Was it just their position, or was they trying to with intent to sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Is the line is
it's still that drug, and that's why Bernie, and I don't know everything about it, but that's one of the things that he's trying to work on is like, and he signed that bill, but too, by the way, in 1990, whenever
1990.
he signed the bill. But the difference between Hillary and Bernie is that when people ask him about it, he explains it. He said, "Look, I signed it. There were good things in that. A bill is not just one piece of legislation. It's several. It's a book. It's literally thousands of pages, and there were certain things in there that talked about domestic violence against women. There were things about women workers that are in that bill and all these other things. So yes, I signed it, but I'm willing to redo some of that stuff, the damage that was done. I haven't heard Hillary talk about that bill at all, and that's the difference, because you have to address it if you were a part of it, because it's documented. You can't hide from it. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like the education thing, he's talking about paying for school by taxing Wall Street and taxing these millionaires that have foreign accounts in the Cayman Islands and all that stuff. No one gets that's why they send them the money to that account, because no one actually, you can't get taxed for that. And he wants to put a tax on that. All of that money is going to go into, which is what he's proposing, is into free healthcare and free education. Now, can he get all of that stuff passed? No, because no one ever can completely do what they say they're going to do. But at least it sounds a lot better than whatever other.
But everybody else is preaching.
Yeah, but everybody else is preaching, because all of this shit is just.
But that also worries me.
They're just selling their ass, really.
That's also what's worrying me, because I feel like Donald Trump is doing such a terrible job that people are forced to choose between Hillary and Bernie, right? Bernie. And for Hillary, honestly, I haven't heard anything about her in the media. They haven't even, for me, I haven't heard a lot about her. Besides the email thing, I didn't hear
people
anything about her.
People
still harping on
I didn't realize people took that so serious. Like the whole email thing.
Well, the thing with the email.
For any people with legal power, you can't use none of that shit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like some people are saying that they would never vote for Hillary specifically because of those emails, and I'm like, is it really that big of a deal?
It's a big deal.
It's a little bit deeper.
I heard she was supposed. Someone said he put it this way. He was like, if it was anybody else in that position that was deleting and hiding emails, they would be in prison.
Right.
For a long time. And I was like, really? I was like, why?
Yeah, people.
The issue with the emails, and don't quote me on this is what I was told though, but it has like names, like people like, forwards or like CCs, BCs, all these different things of people involved, including like the president now. Like I think Barack was even including some of these emails, conversations. They were trying to do stuff that had to do with like spying on other countries and stuff, but it was going through her personal server or whatever. And there's been presidents apparently that's done this in the past, other people that's done this in the past.
But they never got caught.
I don't think they ever got caught
until
her. Okay. And then like she keeps doing it. Like I think she's gotten caught on multiple occasions now. But yeah, that's what I've heard about. It's like it includes names and
so there's a trust issue.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of people involved too. Like I said, the current president is involved in like making these. They were trying to make secret decisions, basically, going
Through
around
email?
other people through email and like.
I should have just had a group me.
And like that's how like that's how like other countries found out about the spying or some shit, like
Okay.
because like they found these emails and the names and all this crap. Honestly, it's all gonna come out sooner or later. Snowden's gonna come back and let
I mean, there's no president without some type of scandal. Just because we don't see
The
it.
government itself, it's just a messed up thing because other countries do it, and you know I'm pretty sure we know about it, but they never get as much ridicule as we do, just because we're America.
Yeah, I mean, we're regarded as the greatest country in the world, allegedly. So
I'm getting tired of people in America saying we're not in that way. Because I'm tired of people always comparing us to everybody saying we're not. But I'm like, why don't you go there?
Right.
Why don't you go to this other place that you believe is just so great?
Right.
And you're like, nah, I can't do that. Well, shut up. It's like,
Yeah, that's not okay.
I get tired of people saying that. Like, oh, Germany has this, that. Go to Germany. Why are you still here?
But then
You clearly have when you get your refund.
it's just like people saying that they're gonna move like away to a different country if Trump gets.
Cool, no.
But you,
Okay.
everybody's not
I'm
serious
serious.
about it.
I'm
You know how
serious
hard it
now.
is to.
I'm really gonna move
I'm
if you
not
guys.
serious.
That's scary as fuck.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this for the camera. Y'all can have it as white people if he get in office. I don't even want to
You
stay around
also,
to see
when
that
you gotta
shit.
think about it this way, he doesn't have that much power because
and you have to think of like
You gonna have
he's still gonna be
Them
fought.
sleep rages
Well,
coming out.
he can't wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna do this. That's not how it works because he has to like go through Senate and
Right, that's what
House,
I'm saying. That's
and he can get vetoed
and it
and all that
depends
stuff.
on how those seats are looking as well.
But the thing is, there's a lot of Republican. Well, we can
It
get
might
that in a
switch
minute.
out.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens. It
I think
switches.
even if he does get elected, which I don't think he's gonna get elected, he's gonna be impeached like within
That's what I've heard.
in a short amount of time.
That's what Chris
And I
said.
don't believe he's gonna get elected because if you ever look at the Republican debates, they're all like low key not talking about anything.
They're talking about each other.
Yeah, it look childish.
It's like
And
love and hip hop. It's
and then-
terrible.
And then you got the Democrats splitting votes between Hillary and Bernie. But once we figure out which one is going to be
They all
the
will
one,
be, yeah.
it's going to mass up and it's going to be better than Trump. Right now, Trump is only going off of like popularity and, like I said, the hidden people that want to vote for him and stuff like that. So, he only got that little bit going for him. But once he hits the big stage, it's not gonna fly.
I kind of
He's
feel.
going to get destroyed in the Republican and Democratic.
In the actual, yeah.
I feel like we're moving more towards a Democratic.
Type of, I mean, we were all anything. Don't quote me on this either, but most of the greatest changes for this country happened under Democratic control.
Yeah, and you just got to think about it this way: like the generations as we're growing. I mean, it's starting to dwindle out. Like more people are hard workers. They don't have not much people have the rich bloodline.
Yeah,
still.
there's a lot of middle class people.
So like we're just moving that way regardless, and it might just happen sometime soon.
even beyond that, I think we're moving more towards like the socialist class. I mean, what that basically means is
That's what Bernie is.
yeah, Bernie. That's what Bernie is because Bernie is more of I'd rather
Everybody-
worry about what's going on in our communities domestically, what's going on with our leadership domestically. I would rather worry about home before I start worrying about these other countries. Because if push come to shove, if someone invaded the United States right now, are you gonna go outside and fight these niggas?
Right.
They might
Like
put
you're
you
gonna
there.
fight for yourself. But if Bernie became president and you live in a country where the president actually cares about what's going on in your community, what goes on in your leadership, if someone invaded, you fight for your country at this point because it's like I love my country and I have no reason to fight. And people want to rag on him because he's a socialist, but people fail to realize that the last time we had a socialist president was FDR, and he was president during the Roaring '20s, which was when the economy was booming. Unemployment was at the lowest it's been until that time, and then right after him, they tried to elect him 4 times. But
No, FDR?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm all that. And then after that, we had like the Great Depression and everything. So I think we're moving more towards a socialist economy where people are starting to care more about domestic problems rather than problems that's happening elsewhere.